B, Belle of the Boar. B&G better than the Moor. Never been the floor. Pretty kid.
What's going on, y'all? So realistically, I'm gonna start this video off with an apology because I've seen the messages, I've seen the tweets, I've seen the comments. I know, I've been gone, and for no real reason. And you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to just be left sitting by the window, waiting for me to come, and I never do, like a fucking black father. I understand. And really, all y'all are asking for is for a little bit of consistency, which basically means I gotta get my shit together. So I'm sorry, but I intend on making that up to you because in case you've been living under a rock, today I'm fucking pissed. So welcome to another episode of Think Tank, where I talk about whatever comes to my mind because that's just how my fucking brain works. Ready, let's go. So the Shammies were last night, right? So boom. I was gonna come on here and I was taking notes during the beginning of the show and I was getting ready to give y'all a full recap of how I felt about the things that pertain to us that were going on at the Grammys. You know, I was ready to come in here and to do my full pop culture shit. But you know what? No, I'm not doing it. Instead, I'm gonna yell. And you guys know, I'm gonna fucking yell. The Grammys know what they do when they nominate people. The voters know what they do when they vote. And so, when they decided that they were going to nominate one other than Solana Imani Rowe, they did that because they knew what her impact was. When they said that they were going to let her perform, they did that because they knew what her impact was. When they nominated her so much that she was the most nominated woman of the Grammys tonight, the belle of the fucking ball, they did that because they knew what her impact was. Which basically said, okay, Solana is going to translate into ratings because they knew we were all gonna watch for SZA. So for them to turn around and not even give her one of those 5 Grammys is absolute horseshit, poppycock, dog dick. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And we're gonna get to Jay Z, but right now we're talking about SZA. I honestly thought that she would at least take home 1. I thought she would take home 1. I didn't think she was gonna take home all 5. She was nominated for Best New Artist, Best R&B Song, Best Rap Song Collaboration, Best Urban Contemporary Song, and Best R&B Performance. None of those acknowledged the full album, by the way, which I had a problem with during the nominations, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm just, being skeptical, maybe I'm triggered because I know how they like to do our people. But not acknowledging Control as an entire album with the scope of its impact is a problem. Only nominating Love Galore here and there, to me, is an issue, but I thought Best New Artist would be the one. And I thought Best New Artist would be the one because of the impact she had when she came out. I mean, listen, this is an artist who has not released an album. She's been around for a while, but she had never released an album before, and she came in off of one release that she really wasn't even sure that she was even gonna release. And now she has 5 Grammy nominations. That to me is the Best New Artist. But instead, you're gonna give that to Alessia Cara, whose debut album came out in 2015. I want somebody right now to explain that to me, how that works. Because here's the story that I'm seeing. Because they also did the same thing pretty much to Jay Z. You're gonna nominate 444, you know what it meant to us as a scope of an album, and then you're gonna throw all the awards to Kendrick and Bruno, and there are none for Jay. All due respect to Kendrick and taking nothing away from Damn, Kendrick has now become the token golden boy of the Grammys. They see his name and the voters just bubble it in because they know the stink that we made over the Macklemore situation, so they're like, how do we shut them up? Kendrick. And they just write it down. They don't care about the Kendrick message. They don't listen to the Kendrick message. They just hear him and they see his imagery, they see his performance, and they go, wow, this is very black, this is very powerful. Like, I just love Kendrick Lamar so. You don't know what the fuck he's talking about. There's no way that the majority of the people in the building watched that Kendrick performance and knew what the fuck he was talking about. Nobody. And you can't tell me that shit. Nobody did. They just saw it as nigger babble and they were like, wow, this is progressive. Look, the Bloods got shot. Bloods and Crips. Like, there was absolutely no way that they understood what was happening. So Kendrick is the new token pony boy, and that's fine, but you're not telling me that the people that voted for that Grammy understood the nuances of that album, because they don't understand our shit. And so, this is the problem that we have with the Grammys every year. It's not because we're just making music that makes no sense, that has no perspective, and it's uninspired. And that's why people are saying Cardi B got snubbed or Migos got snubbed. They can't get snubbed. First of all, Cardi B was only nominated for 1 award that she didn't deserve anyway. The Migos are not making music that has tendrils of passion and perspective and like diary pages. It's not heartfelt. It's ass-shaking music. So if the Migos don't win, they'll just make it. They came out with another ass-shaking album last week. They can release one of those quarterly. Realistically, it's not that serious. When Beyonce released Lemonade, when Jay Z released 444, when SZA released Control, people were attracted to those albums because they validate the perspective of the black woman, the black man. They're felt on another level, so we do hold them to a higher esteem. And yes, we do expect for them to be awarded, but that perspective seems to never be valued by the Grammys, which is why I wish we wouldn't shit on our own awards all the time. And I said this last year, but I had like no subscribers, so nobody heard this, but I'm gonna say this again. The Grammys don't value the black perspective on that level. They don't give a shit. So I wish we would stop giving a fuck about the Grammys, because the Grammys does not give a fuck about us. That's why Beyonce showed up halfway through the awards show with Blue Ivy and sat down next to Jay Z like, nigga, I told you this shit was bullshit, but whatever. I'ma just sit here in this all black and act like I give a shit because these cameras are on me and I can't roll my eyes the way I really want to. So that's exactly what she did, because she knew. And please, these are two people who have collected plenty of Grammys before, but I'm talking about the state of the Grammys right now. My problem is that the Grammys understood SZA's value and used her to get viewers, so you nominate her for 5 awards and then you keep her to the end of the show so people will keep watching, so your award show will keep watching. You understand her value to you, but you won't value her enough to give her an award. And they did the same thing to Nicki Minaj in 2012, because a lot of people don't know that when she performed Roman Holiday at the fucking Grammys, the Grammys came to her studio and chose that song. And then they didn't give her Best New Artist and have chosen not to give her award since. It's about the way the Grammys positions themselves when they're dealing with our new artists, when they're dealing with people that they know that matter to us, because they just use them for views and do not award them the way they're supposed to be. So the bottom black ass line is that the Grammys are not going to let us choose who the fuck we want and who the fuck our community says matters the most to us, when they don't know anything about our shit. They don't know about what it means. They don't understand the cultural significance. They don't understand any of that shit. They're just bubbling in shit that they hope will shut us the fuck up after award night. If they're not gonna do that, then they might as well just let us decide. There are tons of black people in media who have the cultural significance to be able to judge that, and so that way we won't always have these issues. There are tons, but they never allow us to do it. They'd rather it be industry bullshit and a whole bunch of hoopla and all that other shit. So bottom line is, that's how I feel about the Grammys. I really don't give a shit. You wanna know how I feel about the rest of the awards? Here we go. Rihanna, you're thick. Congratulations. Love it. Everybody does. However, Wild Thoughts is done. I Have Nothing. It does not unbreak my heart. So if you can't do that on the note, then you might want to stop busting that stale ass wine. You might want to just stand stationary and at least be able to sing that to me, because you sounded a fucking mess and no one else wants to say it, but I'm gonna say it. It was a bad performance, in my opinion.
That's my opinion!
Cardi B, I really do not expect much from you, but if you are going to be taken as a serious rapper and you have 6 bars in a pop song, you might want to be able to perform them live. It's really not that much asking of you to get some in-ears to be able to hear yourself and to say drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds all over my chain, or whatever the fuck. I'm not asking for much. At least be able to do that. And this is your first Grammys. I don't understand why you would let your sister wear the better gown. She looks like a Hollywood starlet and you look like a used Kleenex. Don't understand the decision. Lady Gaga, you'll always be able to sing. No one's ever gonna take that from you. If you ever decide that you're gonna perform at any awards show, they're gonna say, of course we have a spot for you, Lady Gaga, because you've earned that. However, Joanne is over. I'm sorry, I don't wanna hear none of that shit. 2016 was a dark time for you, because if I turn on the TV ever again and you're performing A Million Reasons, you're not giving me a million reasons to do shit besides turn the fucking channel. Sam Smith, you actually sound amazing live. I realized in hearing you perform Pray, I think you performed Pray, which the album I skipped, but I know the name of that song because you said Pray a lot of times. I realized that you were one of the only artists that can sound like a man and a woman at the same time, and I think that's great. However, you do not have to rely on the strength of a token black ass Baptist choir for no reason and then not even shout out the church. Where'd you get these random blacks to act like they were singing from? You might as well shout out the church so that way we know exactly where the fuck to go if we want to hear this shit on a Sunday service. But just having random blacks behind you at this point is a gimmick that's old and you can carry a performance on your own. You don't need it. So that's my Grammy review. Hopefully we can move the fuck on because I have other shit I want to talk about and I'm annoyed. Apparently the amount of calls to poison control centers and the amount of cases that have been coming to emergency rooms are people who are poisoned and are sick because they've been actually eating Tide Pods. And I'm here to tell you that there are people who die for no reason. There are people who die in freak accidents. There are people who die in car accidents. There are people who die from cancer. People die from a lot of things that make me feel like, damn, RIP, why you were so young? No, it was too soon. If you chose to eat a fucking Tide Pod and somehow you end up dead, I do not feel bad for you. And maybe that's just me. I don't care, maybe I'm a dick, I'll be that. However, I don't give a shit. It makes no sense. There's nothing about a fucking Tide Pod that says, delicioso, gracias. Nothing says that. I don't know, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, you know, a lot of the people who are eating Tide Pods are children. Let me tell you something. If you, as a child, have the goddamn audacity to go down into that laundry room where your mother bought those Tide Pods and eat an entire wash's worth of laundry, you deserve your ass beat. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. So realistically, if you're watching this and you happen to be a child, first of all, I hope you're not, because this is not that channel for children. But if you happen to be in grown folks' business and watching this channel for some reason or goddamn other, don't eat fucking Tide Pods. I'll let your dumbass friends know the same. So during my little break, this is a topic that came out that I don't know if a lot of you know about, but I want to talk about because, granted, it affects me, so it affects you. So the latest rollout in the Logan Paul situation is that in order to control the amount of content that is not good to be seen by the majority of people, YouTube has decided, in reaction to the Logan Paul thing, which I'm gonna get to, that they are going to now demonetize all channels that have under 1,000 subscribers and that don't have 4,000 hours of watch time per year. Now, I'm just under 1,000. Getting to 1,000 realistically is not gonna be hard for me because I believe in my content, so I know 1,000 is coming. It's really, you know, I'm going to reach that. I will be within the parameters because my videos are long. I talk about poppin' topics. This is not the problem. You have your cookie cutter white fave goes into a fucking forest to find a dead body in Japan, puts it in his thumbnail and uploads it, and he has millions of subscribers, and somehow the way you're gonna crack down on terrible content is by punishing the people who have less than 1,000 followers. So you're gonna punish small channels because of what he did. That's literally like if Donald Trump were to tweet, Kim Jong-un is a fat bitch, and then Kim Jong-un nukes us, and then Donald Trump is safe. That's literally what the fuck it's like. Why are you gonna punish me when he did it? Nuke that nigga. That's my problem. So I just want you to know that YouTube does not value its small creators. They act like they do. They really don't. At the end of the day, they only want to spend money where they have to, and I think also that makes good business sense because YouTube has not been paying me the big fucking bucks, and realistically, if there was another place where I could go to do this shit, I really wouldn't even have to do it on YouTube. But because YouTube is the only place, that's where creators go to get their shit off. So make sure that you're subscribing to your small creators, make sure that you're watching your small creators videos, sharing their videos, leaving comments, because small creators need you guys now more than ever because YouTube doesn't give a fuck about us and we're expected to give a fuck about YouTube. So yes, I'm going to be on YouTube and I'm gonna talk shit about YouTube because bottom line is come February, they're gonna demonetize me anyway. So fuck you. Post Malone. Listen, we gotta talk. In an interview with GQ, Post Malone says, I definitely feel like there's a struggle being a white rapper, but I don't want to be a rapper. I just want to be a person that makes music, he says to GQ. I make music that I like and I think that kicks ass, that I think people who fuck with me as a person and as an artist will like. Now, all that shit aside, Post Malone, if you're expecting sympathy for being white in hip-hop, you're never gonna fucking get it. Hip-hop was a space specifically for people of color to be heard where they don't hear us when we speak. And that's still kind of what it does in a way. People don't hear black people when we speak, and that is why we created hip-hop, is to be heard. So you don't need hip-hop for your voice to be heard. And I think now you understand that, and that's why you're trying to distance yourself from hip-hop. He's trying to say like, oh, if you want to listen to music that has pain, if you want to listen to music that is really about something, don't listen to hip-hop. The first song that I know and a lot of you heard from Post Malone is White Iverson. White Iverson, which is a song that was co-signed by Jay Z, which is why a lot of us heard it in the first place. But let me read you some of those lyrics. I'm saucing on you, I'm swagging on you, I'm balling on you, Iverson on you. I got me some braids and I got me some hoes. Started rocking the sleeve, I can't ball with no Joes. You know how I do it, Concords on my toes. I ain't rich yet, but you know I ain't broke. Double OT, I'm KD smoking OG. Those are hip-hop lyrics. It's black vernacular that you're using. So yes, if you make music when you're using black vernacular when it works for you, we're gonna pigeonhole you as that because you're using our terms. If you wanna not take a bath for 6 years and look like Dog the Bounty Hunter and sing Bob Dylan songs, then guess what? We would let you. So my problem with Post Malone is that now that it makes sense and he understands his demo, now it's okay for him to shit on hip-hop because he knows that basically we're not listening to his shit anyway. You're telling me that Rockstar is not a hip-hop song? I don't care if you are singing on it. We have tons of rap singers. So what are you talking about? That's my thing, is we allow these people into our spaces that don't respect our shit. So for me, it's fuck Post Malone. I don't give a fuck if it's hard for you as a white rapper. You can eat a bucket of dicks for all I care. It's hard for you being a white rapper? What are you talking about? You made it. It's hard being a black person. That's why hip-hop was created. But I'm not gonna sit around and watch somebody use our culture while it's convenient and then shit on it when it's convenient. Because that shit is pissing me off and I don't want to hear no more of it, Post. Stop that shit. So also while it was gone, and this was a huge story, so I'm not gonna spend forever on it. You guys know what Offset said in that new song with YFN Lucci or whatever the fuck. He has the lyric, I cannot vibe with queers. The Migos being homophobic is not news to me and it shouldn't be news to you. I know the news cycle moves quick and so we ingest new things and forget about old shit. Last year alone, when I Love Minokin came out, the Migos were quoted in Rolling Stone saying that was whack and he was gonna lose credibility. The drag queens during the Katy Perry performance were canceled because the Migos did not want them on set, and most of them them were not invited to the SNL after party because if the Migos were gonna go, they did not want them there. I don't care what anyone says. There are tons of drag queens who have said that was the case. There are drag queens who watched them flip out when they got to the set and saw that Katy Perry had them there, and that's where they were all crammed in during the Swish Swish performance. So now Offset has the lyric, I cannot vibe with queers. So I saw a lot of people saying, why do the gays care? Because gay people listen to fucking Migos. It's not like as soon as you're attracted to the same sex, all you can listen to is Cher and Kylie Minogue. It doesn't work that way. Gay people listen to all types of music. So yes, when Offset says that, they have a right to speak up. Like, I don't understand how that would be an issue. So then as soon as Offset realizes that this has gotten out of hand and people actually are listening to what he's saying, even though he's not really using words, we heard that. So his PR decides we're gonna clean this up, and here's how they clean it up. They post on Instagram the Google definition of queer, only the first one, not the second use, which is the one that he used as an adjective that says strange or odd, and he says under it, I didn't write the line about gay people. I have said before since these issues before that I've gotten love for all people. My passion for fashion has led me to a lot of gay people around me, yada yada boom boom. Bottom line is I'm trying to fix this and I'm sorry, I apologize. Listen, you probably saw this, you probably heard this, I don't have to fucking read it. So when I first saw that, I was laughing, right? I'm laughing so hard because I'm like, that's the worst spin that I've ever seen in my life. Anybody with sense knows that that was somebody's PR trying to turn that around and it's really not gonna work. But then I saw a lot of people on Twitter, the black community, were with it and were defending it, and I was like, The week before the H&M thing happened, and I intentionally did not talk about it because I felt how I felt about that shit, and the kid's mom showed why we shouldn't have given a shit. But the week before, when everybody was up in arms about the coolest monkey in the jungle shirt being put on a black kid, and white people were saying, how are they supposed to know that monkey means black, and they weren't even thinking that way, and you guys are being too sensitive. They know that monkey means black because they made it the fuck up. They know that monkey means black because it's offensive because they called us that. So to me, using that logic, right, a lot of the same people who were defending Offset said the same sentiment that I just said about the H&M thing, as to why it should be understood that we're not being too sensitive. They turned around and they told the gay community that you're just being too sensitive. You're being too sensitive. Oh, we can't say anything anymore. We can't do anything anymore. Black people, you have to stop treating gay people the way white people treat you. I say that all the time. It's like you guys get some weird satisfaction off of oppressing other people, and meanwhile, a lot of gay people are also black. So you want them to fight with you when it's matters of blackness, but as soon as it's gay blackness, it doesn't count. So just like I say, if your feminism does not include black feminism, does not include anything other than white feminism, it doesn't count to me. If your blackness does not include queer blackness, yes, sorry, the Q in LGBTQ Offset does stand for queer. If your blackness or your black pride does not include pride for LGBT blackness, to me it doesn't mean anything because it only matters when it matters to you. And other people are a part of that blackness. It's not just about you. Straight blackness is not the only blackness. And so that's my problem, is that black people act like they don't get it, but it's the same logic. So you do get it. You do get it. If Iggy Azalea had come out and had a lyric that said, I do not fuck with blacks, all of you knickknacks would have been like, ow, Iggy! No! What did she say? She don't fuck with blacks. And if she fixed it by saying, no, I meant Black and Milds. I don't smoke those. They're bad for your lungs. I love all people. Would you allow her to clean that up? I bet the fuck you wouldn't. So why would you allow Offset to do that? So Cardi B, who is a huge beneficiary of the gay community, because bottom line is if you're a female rapper, you're going to attract a lot of gay fans. A lot of gay people have contributed to Cardi B and styling Cardi B and doing her hair and, you know, everything. She's an amalgamation of, you know, gay support, gay everything. So instead of just sitting there and eating her fucking food or saying that, you know, Offset made a mistake, I do not think he's homophobic, but he said some fuck shit and he apologized and I hope you can forgive him. But taking ownership, she gets on Instagram Live and she says this.
He never acts uncomfortable and he just don't care. And then when I asked him, like, when I started seeing all this fuel, and I was even talking to him, and I called him, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Why would you use that word? He literally told me, I didn't even know that was a word for gays. Like, he just really told me, like, I didn't. And it has a different vocabulary. It has a different vocabulary on the dictionary. Now, if that's a word that you guys said that is a bad word for gays, I never even heard that word in the first place. Why don't y'all educate people about it? A lot of people are not aware about what's wrong or right in the LGBT community. And that's the thing. Like, it's like, why don't we do things to educate instead of bashing and trying to label somebody that they not? If you go to let me tell you something. If you go to a country like where my parents is from,
So you mean to tell me that you just do not know that the word queer exists? You've never heard that, Cardi? And you know that Offset just has never heard it? It's the same thing as saying, how are they supposed to know that we call black people monkeys? Because white people made up calling black people monkeys. The disappointing part isn't even about Offset or Cardi to me. It's that black people purposefully enable homophobia and then they want to fight racism at the same time, when realistically the fight for civil rights kind of runs parallel. And you don't have to like it. I know a lot of black people get angry when they're like, oh, the black struggle and the gay struggle are not the same. No, they're not the same. But bottom line is, when you're fighting for a right to life, a right for equality, a fight for acceptance, fighting against oppression, yes. Fighting against hate speech, yes, it's the same thing. So bottom line is, you need to fucking open your eyes and stop treating LGBTQ people the way that white people treat you. How the fuck does that feel? You look fucking dumb. Remy Ma dropped her new single Melanin Magic, and I just want to talk about it for a second because I did not get a chance to talk about it. It's got this grand uptown sound, and I don't know how to explain this to you, but there's a sound that Fat Joe, who's EP in her project, goes for that is just very uptown. It sounds like Fat Joe to me. It sounds like what summertime sounds like riding around in the car with my mom in like 2003. Like, I love that epic sound. And Chris Brown sounds amazing on it. To me, he saves the song. Once again, my problem is Remy. And I don't want to hate on Remy. I would love to come in here and say that I enjoy a Remy single. I really would, because I want to like it. But my problem is the flow. This Melanin Magic, brown skin poppin', always fly. I stay in the cockpit. I want it, I got it. Open the door and lock it. What are you doing? Like, you're not saying anything. Why are you getting up in this flow? And I hate when Cardi B does that too, when she does that on a fucking Bartier Cardi. I'm thinking with the chick, move rocks in this bitch. You ain't saying nothing. How are you getting up in this pocket when you ain't saying nothing? Like, you only get up in here when you're really killing it. Why are you up here? There's no way. And that bothers me. And also, if you're gonna do a song called Melanin Magic, and it's gonna be about celebrating brown girls and celebrating black girls, don't take the time out to then shade another black woman named one Nicki Minaj. She's also a part of Melanin Magic if it's really about Melanin Magic. So if you're gonna take the time to be petty, realize that you belittle your own message by doing that on that song. And bottom line is, the whole melanin thing is a fucking gimmick for a song that's not going anywhere anyway. So you might as well just be real about it and saying, oh, I just really want y'all to buy this, and melanin sounds like the right thing to say. Because that's kind of what it comes across to me. So now we're gonna move it along to put you on. As usual, if you have any songs you want to put me on, hit me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere at 20 Days of June. Let me know what you're listening to, because I love listening to new music and I want to hear what the fuck y'all listening to. So boom, if you have not listened to the SZA album, SZA is also off of TDE. It is a fantastic album. I absolutely love it from top to bottom. What I love about TDE is all of their artists have this deep blackness, and they take it into different directions as to like where they want to pigeonhole it and how they want to package it and how they feel about, but the music is very black and you can feel the soul as to where it came from. You know what I mean? I feel like every single one of their grandparents has a record player and played them like the Isley Brothers or some shit. Like, I just love the music. It's really good. It's really soulful. So shout out to that. The song that I'm gonna put you on is called Never Know by this artist. He's Korean. His name is Sik-k, featuring Ye Ali, who I've talked about. I love Ye Ali, and that's actually how I found out about this song. I know the song, a lot of it is in Korean, but realistically, we're listening to a whole bunch of artists who are supposed to be speaking English that aren't. So this ain't gonna kill you. It's a good song. It's a fun bop, so go listen to that. Anyway, that's it for Put You On, so go listen to that shit. Let me know what you're listening to in the comment box below. Anyway, that's it for this week's THiNK. As usual, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce. If you're gonna try to flex that you have a nigga for cuffing season, please make sure his legs are lotioned, because it's too many of those goddamn blizzard snaps that I saw with every nigga looking like he decided to break dance at a crematorium.